Hi, welcome to the Make It Fresh seminar. My name is Christy Brown, and we are going to make lots of flavors today. I am by myself, first time in record history. I'm super pumped and excited. We have a great class out there. Say hello to everybody. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start off very, very strong. So we're going to hit it with some bourbon this morning. Right? Okay. Some of this you guys have probably always heard over and over and on repeat. So same old shtick, you're just here to see it in person. So this is what you call an ice cream bladder. Some call it a mix. Some call it a mix. I'll come over this way. Some call it a mix. Some call it a blend. We call them in a bladder because this is what it's in. It's in a bag. When you go to order any ice cream mix, it'll come in a bladder just like this. Very rare. Some places up north, they'll have them in gallon jugs, just like your milk. They have any butterfat percentages from 10% up to 22%. By law, it has to contain at least 10% butterfat to be considered ice cream. Any less than that, it's a frozen dessert. So if you have a gelato, it's no true definition for a gelato, but it doesn't contain at least 10% butterfat. Anywhere from 3 to 6% is typically a soft serve. Some customers have a lot of soft serve machines already. Some of you might be a soft serve trying to convert over to a hard scoop. And I have been asked, can you use a soft serve ice cream mix for a hard scooped machine? Yes, you can. But there are additives in that soft serve mix that have ingredients to help the ice cream stay a peak on a cone. So we suggest that you always use a hard ice cream mix. There's no definition for it, so when you do call an order, just be very specific that you do say you're looking for hard ice cream mix. That's probably going to be your biggest hurdle when you go to start and open an ice cream shop, is finding and sourcing your mix. 9 times out of 10, they're going to try to throw soft serve at you because that's just common. So just try to stick with 10%. This is called a vanilla base. Doesn't taste like vanilla. If you were to taste it, it just tastes like sweet cream. So if you were to make a vanilla ice cream, you definitely still need to add lots of vanilla extract to that. There's tons of vanillas out there in the world, and the one we always recommend is Lockhead. To me, I have like a catch-22 with that. If you're making a true vanilla ice cream, I definitely always recommend to go with a very expensive, high-quality type of vanillas. If you're just using it to add as the flavors for Oreos or touch and notes or something, use your cheaper vanillas for that. You have, the Dancy vanillas. You have ones you can just get off a shelf. You can buy it in bulk. There are a dime a dozen out there. But if you're going to make a vanilla ice cream, use one that's going to stand out. All right. So this is our 24-quart model. So I'm going to introduce you to these two models here. This is a 24-quart. This yields 6 gallons per batch. So what this will do is it'll make 2 of these tubs at once. So this is traditionally what you will scoop out of if you're having a dipping cabinet and you have like where the glass and your customers come up to see. This is what goes in there. These are 2.5 gallon tubs. So this machine will make 2 of these at once, and the CB350 will make half. So this machine quadruples this one. So this is a great popular startup model, being that it is a countertop. It is a very solid, definitely can get you running, open a storefront, get your foot in the door. But it only makes half of this tub. So you would have to run this machine twice to fill up one of these, versus this one you would run once to fill up 2. So your production is a lot bigger with this. You don't have to run this to its full capacity. You can run as little as 8 quarts into the machine for a lesser batch, so you don't have to run it full. But if you're making crappy flavors, just don't make it if you need to run less. All of these have, work here, a touch screen on them. So you have Make Ice Cream. It's kind of hard to see back there, but there are preset settings on this machine for you with the speeds already set. So you have homemade, super premium, gelato, custard. What this does is it tells the dasher how fast to go and how slow to go. The faster the dasher goes, the more air it's putting into your ice cream to expand. So you have a homemade overrun, or homemade, which is 100% overrun. And then the slower it goes, the less air is putting into your product. So it's not going to expand so much. So that's what we call overrun, or air content. And that's what this IOC does. So it tells it to go fast, tells it to go slow. So there's no preset for you to like, oh, I like this RPMs, let's set it here. So you would just pick homemade, start, which turns the dasher on, which we'll get into a little bit later. And these are on the CB350, 24, and the 44. This little guy here, I get asked about him quite often. I have this one myself in my kitchen at home. It is a 110, so it plugs into any normal outlet. It's a 3-quart machine. It's one speed only, and it makes fantastic ice creams. You just can't control that overrun. So the dasher stays spinning at 1 speed. So that means your ice cream's not going to expand a lot. It's not going to expand a little. It's going to be this type of ice cream every single time that you make it. You can make a gelato. It can make ices too. It's a lot of fun. Those that purchase the big guy here, when you get this far, which you can fit a small human in here, it's very big. That one makes 4 of these tubs. So it'll pump out 4 of these at once. She's a big beast. Those that are in massive wholesale production will have like 15 of these completely lined up on a wall and just run them day in and day out. And they're pumping out tub after tub after tub. You can run them nonstop. There's no, stop at 8 hours, stop at 10, stop at 15. You can run them 24 hours a day. We just kind of probably want to clean them in between. That's about it. Those that have this one will usually buy the little one just so they can do some testing, some developmental flavors. The least you can put in this is 16 quarts. So it's pretty big. It's pretty decent. This one is for when you upgrade from a 24, you have multiple locations, you have one hub, you're ready to expand, you have catering events now, supermarkets, all kinds of things, and you want to start mass producing, that's your guy. Any questions on machines? We got to be a little more talkative. Okay. All right. So they have baskets that you can buy. I'll just show you. I'm not a fan of them. You'll learn that as we do all of these flavors that the less I have to wash dishes and the less stuff you have to buy, the better. This is a good question. I don't know what the name of it. Bladder basket? I don't know. Ice cream basket. But you put the bag in here and hook the nozzle right here, and this will help you pour your ice cream mix into the machine. I have a very odd and goofy way of making sure you never forget and that you'll do it the right way. Choke it, choke, grab. You'll never forget that. So grab it, choke it. You're just going to do it like this. It's never going to spoosh out. Make sure your gate is closed. And off we go. Okay. So we're going to run this on a super premium setting. Super premium means less of an overrun. So it'll give us about 65%. Plus, we're also going to weigh it down with some nuts, some bourbon, some maple. We're going to give it a kick, and we're going to add some jalapeno extract. So it says jalapeno. It doesn't taste like it. It just gives you that heat that you're looking for. And these are also sweet and spicy nuts, too. So they're candied pecans. Anybody allergic to nuts? We're good? Awesome. The Ninja will be your best friend. This is probably going to be one of your biggest investments. I have worked with food processors, little handheld ones. Nothing beats the Ninja. It's worth the investment to maybe have 2 or 3, maybe 2 at least, just so you can put nuts in one and then keep one that's not nut-free for your allergen-friendly customers. So that way you don't have to worry about cross-contamination because it is a thing. There are certain products that can break down amazingly in the machine and some that struggle a little bit. Things that are firm, like a nut, those won't break down because as you can see here with the dasher, these blades here, they're pretty bulky and they'll pulverize almost everything, but it can't chop nuts in half. Mangoes are very hard, they're very firm too, so those would probably need a couple pulses, a little bit of, or a puree if you want to put it in that type of form. Strawberries, if you're going to be doing strawberries that are fresh, which I'm not a fan of, I really like frozen fruits that's been thawed. We'll get into that a little bit later when we work with fruits. So we just kind of pulsed it a little bit. Okay. Oh. Here is the formula. If you want to take one and pass it down. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to hit make ice cream, super premium, start. Dasher's running. Oops. Got our nuts in there. Okay. Do we want to do real bourbon or do we want to do artificial bourbon? Bourbon?
Real.
Okay.
Real stuff.
That's it. I like the go big or go home. Okay. So Jeff, you'll see, is pretty famous for letting her run like this for quite a while. She spits if she doesn't have a whole lot in there. This is a jalapeno extract. It smells like jalapenos. So we're going to go pretty heavy on that because we want to feel that heat whenever you go to eat it. When you work with alcohols, the higher the proof, the less you can add. The lower the proof, the more you can add. So Malibus, liqueurs, amarettos, coffee liqueurs, anything like that, you can get away with probably almost an entire bottle, if not the whole bottle in a 24 quart. Heavy guys like Jim, Jack, you're going to probably want to stay at least about half. So I guess that's the whole thing, right? Okay. We're going to give it a touch of maple syrup. And why not? All right, so I know I added 4 ounces before. And this is how many? 16? I think that's good. And we turn on our refrigeration. The thing when crafting your formulas and recipes is you will always measure out your ingredients. We don't. We have a lot of fun of just showing you how easy it is that you don't have to be precise. You can add too much, too little, and it'll still freeze it. It might be a little on the softer side because we have an alcohol, we have an extract, and then we have our sugar from the candied pecans. I'm gonna pass this around. So this is by Weber Flavors, who you see on that formula on the end. This is the artificial bourbon smell. So if you don't want to use real alcohol, this is a bourbon alternative. It smells identical, and honestly, you can't taste the difference when you use real bourbon in this. And this is the jalapeno extract. You guys can just pass them around and open and smell it. Now, freeze times. Freeze times also are based on your sugar content. More sugar you add, the longer it's going to take to freeze. The alcohols also increase your batch time. So there's no timer, there's no setting of, well, how long does this flavor take or that flavor take? That's on you, the ice cream creator, how much sugar you're going to add to it. So we added candied pecans, we added an extract, we added some maple syrup, and then we added alcohol. So that's sugar, sugar, alcohol, alcohol. So the freeze time is going to be pretty high. We're probably going to push around 15 to 18 minutes. Lower sugar content flavors like vanillas, you can get those done in about 9-12 minutes, but the second you start to introduce sugar, like Oreos, candies, pecans, anything that has a sugar content, you're going to increase your batch time. We still got quite a ways for it to come out. I'm going to use a clear tub so you're able to see it better. There's no, yes?
What was the butter fat content you used? The butter fat content?
What butter fat content did I use? We use 10% in the South. Down here it's very hot, it's very humid. Anything higher than that, it's just too heavy for us. We're used to beaches, so the more north you go, the higher butter fat you'll see. You'll start seeing 16, 18%, like in Wisconsin, Massachusetts, that's pretty common. I really don't recommend going any higher butter fat than that. What's gonna happen is you're gonna feel that greasy texture and it'll leave like a film on the roof of your mouth. It's not very pleasant. Don't forget also, the ability to add inclusions is increasing that fat content. So even though we have a 10%, it's gonna be a very, very good premium product because we're adding fats to it as well. Oreos even, that's a fat. We're gonna be adding Nutella, some peanut butter, so it's gonna turn that 10% and make it a very, very, very rich ice cream. Take that with a 16%, it's gonna be very greasy feeling. So I tend to, with Emery Thompson's, to kind of try to stay between 10 to 14 if you can. A big thing too is about extractions. So there's no right or wrong on when you want to pull your product. So it really depends on you and the consistency and how you want to. We're not anywhere close, but when we do get closer to being pulled out, we do what we call a cutoff check. It's when you open and close the gate real fast and let the ice cream cut off. If it kind of puddles down or piddles, it's not ready, it's too thin. Cut it off and it kind of like pops down into the pan or your container, that's when we know we're ready to pull. The thicker you pull this product, the more chance you have of leaving product in your machine. So it's gonna get really thick, so it's gonna start sticking to your blades, to your springs. That's a very common thing. You're wanting to pull it very thick because it's just a natural thing for you to do. But don't forget, it's a 3-step process by the time you make it, so you can scoop it to your customers. So you don't need it that thick because you're not scooping it to your customers. We're gonna pull it a little thicker because we wanna scoop it and just so you guys so you can taste it. But when we hit probably about 10 more minutes, we'll do a cutoff check and see where it's at. Again, no right or wrong. You're the ice cream maker, so it's your preference. Also pulling it a little on the thinner side, you'll fill up your container a lot more evenly. So instead of it thick and you're trying to pack it down, you want to pull it thinner so it'll fill it up and there's no air pockets. Any questions on that?
So when you pack it down, do you lose air right there?
There's air because it's too thick. They always say never poke the ice cream and never pack the ice cream. I poke it because I fold stuff sometimes, but there's nobody that's going to come back and say, wow, your ice cream's awful because you poked it or because you smacked it. Come back, yes?
And does it matter if how thick or how thin it is when you take it out? Will that affect the quality at all?
Will it affect the quality on the thickness or thin, or how thick or thin you extract it at? No. So temperature, some will come and say, well, you gauge your temperature on it, and we don't. Sugars and alcohols alter the temperature time, so it doesn't matter what flavor it is. If you're pulling it super thin and it's gauging at 18 degrees and this one's extremely thick and it's 6 degrees because it doesn't have any high sugar or sugar content in it, right? Quality is still going to be there. It's the freezing process and how fast you freeze it down is what affects your quality. So ice cream is molecules, right? Comes out of the machine and we need to freeze it fast. Because what happens is the warmer the ice cream gets, the molecules are expanding. We want to stop that process as fast as we can. So chest freezers work, but hardening cabinets like you see in the back corner are much better. There's very large ones, there's small ones. Jeff uses chest freezers. There's a difference with Jeff, and I'll explain that. Jeff uses chest freezers, but he also uses these. It doesn't take very long for the chest freezer to freeze this container. And this is what he scoops out of. This is what he serves out of. So he has a flavor board, and tons of customers do too. They have a flavor board, so they come in, they pick their flavor, they go to the chest freezer, they pull it out, they scoop what they want, put the lid back on it, put it back, come back to the customer and serve it to them. Most of the customers, which you guys will probably do, everybody want to do this method? A good chunk? No? None? Yes? Okay. Will be in this. That's really hard for a chest freezer to freeze this down fast. You'll notice if it doesn't freeze down fast enough, this half of your ice cream tub is going to be very fluffy, very airy. It's because it got warm. That's that ice cream expanding. The bottom half of your tub will be nice and hard and firm because it stayed protected. It was nice and cold down at the bottom. If you do chest freezer methods, as long as you rotate and don't open and close, you'll be fine. Tons and tons and tons of people do it this way. Chest freezers are great. If you have the ability to do a hardening cabinet, I recommend that instead.
How about a standing commercial?
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
A standing commercial. Kind of a combination of these two. So they're
As long as it's 10 below is the magic number. Anything by that temp, you'll be okay.
does it make a difference if you're only if you got the 30, not the 24, but you got a smaller.
Say that again?
35. So the 350, which only makes half of one of those 3-gallon, 2.5-gallon tubs, you probably notice less of a difference if you're using the chest freezer?
Not necessarily, because they'll freeze. I should just leave this out. Because what you'll do is you'll fill up half of this tub, stick it in the freezer, make the next batch of the same one, pull it back out, fill it up the rest of the way, put the lid on it, and stick it back in the freezer. So it still can. I haven't heard and I haven't experienced that. I just know that that can happen and it has happened. It's another thing too. I'll show you actually. I'll come up there though. This is an Italian ice. We all saw my Facebook video probably of me making apple pie, ice cream, and angry cider. See how it's dark down here? This is Italian ice. If you don't freeze this fast enough, this is what's gonna happen. This was put directly from machine to chest freezer. In a matter of minutes, this started to happen. So that's what's gonna happen to your ices if you don't use a stabilizer. I don't like stabilizers. If you can freeze this fast enough, you won't need to worry about it. It also has Fireball, so that kind of helped the separation process. A lot of Fireball. But you will notice this exactly happening in about 3 to 5 days. So using a stabilizer will prevent this, but that's only if you want to keep your product for months, weeks at a time. If you plan on pushing it out 3 to 5 days, then you don't need one. An ice cream too, it won't sink like this at all, but that's what happens if you don't freeze something down fast enough. Yes, so that is, I'll pass this around for you guys too. There's a couple companies out there. Stabilize by iRice is a very popular one. It definitely is noticeable in your product difference when using it versus not using it. This will scoop in a cup and sit there for like an hour and not even melt. It's very sticky, it's very gummy, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's stabilizing your product and making it scoopable. It can help with your temperatures and then also last a lot longer.
Does it change the taste of the ice cream?
Not the taste, but the texture. I'm gonna put this back. So I can hear the machine starting to get thick there.
Does that make a difference between a really good ice cream and like a regular ice cream?
Say that again?
Does that make a difference of a really good ice cream or a okay ice cream by adding this product?
You don't need stabilizers for ice cream because that bladder has stabilizers in it already. This would just be something for ices. So we're pushing 12 minutes, so we're gonna do a cutoff check and see where we're at. I'm gonna pull that. That looks pretty darn good to me. But I'm gonna pack it, here we are, in these, so we can give them away. And then I'll probably do some of this. Here's another money maker. We're gonna shut that off because it's still gonna freeze for another 30 seconds. This is a pecan crusted pie pie crust. We'll fluff her up and make her pretty in a little bit. But these right here took like maybe, what, a pint of ice cream in it. Now it's got booze in it. Sell these around the holidays for a good 25, 15, depending on your location. Huh? It's got alcohol in it now, remember that. And then these make perfect little lids for it. But we're going to pull all of this out now. Too much. You would think I'd be a pro at this right by now, right? Oh, I smell that jalapeno. And if you can see how the nuts evenly distributed throughout the entire product, so you don't have to sit there and fold it in by hand. And the other added benefit too is that this ice cream, it's absorbing every single flavor you put in there. So it's not vanilla based and then it's got pecans folded into it. Say that again? Yes. So at 100% overrun, it would give you 5 gallons. Actually, a little more than that because we added inclusion, so that's going to increase your volume. And running at super premium, it's probably going to give you maybe 4 gallons of product coming back out, but probably a little more because of volume. So we're running at a slow setting now. We're at the tail end of our product, so we can speed this up. To 235 and extract some more out of it. If I was going to be making this flavor day in and day out or all day today, I wouldn't worry about us pulling out as much as I can. I just go right to my next flavor and keep going. Also, never do your nuts first. Save your nuts for the very, very, very last batch of the day because of allergens. Nobody's allergic to nuts, and I want to get you all liquored up for the show. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop it and we'll scoop it out. Boop. All right. If I could have someone come up and help me, that would be great. Okay. We're going to put this like this. This will freeze solid and it'll cut just like a regular slice of pie. And you have a spicy maple bourbon pecan ice cream pie. Sell it during Christmas time, 20 bucks. Put a little bow on it. But he asked a good question about making your own mix or buying it. We are very against making your own mix for lots of reasons. It doesn't work, it's not safe, and the FDA is going to come at you. So we recommend buying it and leaving it up to the pros who already pre-make the mix for you. So they've got their permits, they've got their pasteurizers, they've got all of that. You'll notice the European batch freezers have pasteurizers on them. That's normal, that's very common because in Europe they don't regulate that there like we do here. So American batch freezers, there's only 2 or 3 of us, I think. We don't have pasteurizers because it's heavily regulated. Don't be cracking no eggs in the machine. Don't be cooking stuff on a stove. And getting your mix to the right exact amount is a science. There is a course in Penn State University. It's the oldest dairy program in the United States. They go over that with you, and it's really kind of more for farmers. It's every year in February, so if you really, 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 really want to make your mix, I would suggest attending that course. They go really in depth for all of that. But other than that, leave it to the pros. There are hundreds of dairies across the entire United States that will show you how to make all that. I mean, that will make it for you, yes.
The bladder bags are here in Florida. Do they come from here or are they shipped out, or where they come from?
Everywhere. So in your packet, your little folder that you have in front, there is a dairy supplier list, and it's broken down by state. So you just need to find your state and then find a dairy that's there, and then just give them a call. Again, make sure you specify hard ice cream mix, at least 10% or higher. There's a key supplier list in there. Then every product we're using today too, like the vanillas, the Weber flavors, their info is in there. Also push cart information if you want to venture into that route. Green Mountain flavor, he's not in there, but there's a lot of helpful information in that packet too that you can always use as a good resource. And of course, you can always call and ask us. Yes?
And as far as like non-dairy or like vegan mixes, do people have to make their own, or do companies have like bladders of that stuff as well?
Good question. Very good company. Also, again, Meadowvale. Their information is also in your packet, as well as who to contact. His name is Grant. Meadowvale really pioneered the whole industry for dairy-free. They kind of were ahead of their game. So they have two big-time players, P-Fection, which is made from green peas, and they have a coconut one that's made from coconut-based. I am a huge fan of that coconut one. We've all had dairy-free. Probably sucks, right? Well, Meadowvale here is to tell you that it doesn't suck anymore. It comes in a bladder just like we saw. Most come in a powder form like this, a dairy-free blend. This is made by Mommy's Gelato. Mommy's Gelato is also a fantastic product. This is shelf-stable, can sit here for a couple of years. And the advantage of this over the coconut bladder is that it doesn't have that coconut taste. So anything you want to make, this will not stand out. It'll just be your background base. You can make cookies and cream, you can do any type of flavors, and it'll never have that coconut taste. The dairy-free mix by Meadowvale is amazing. It'll be extremely creamy, just like what you tasted with the spicy maple bourbon. But it is frozen, and it comes and once it's thawed, you have to use it in 5 days, and it does have a coconut taste. So anything you make with that has to complement the coconut. But those in the vegan and dairy-free world, that's what they know. So if you're not a fan of it, they're gonna love it because that's all they know. It's what they're used to. So you can just even provide a better product for them. And if it was my store, I don't like to turn people away. So I do suggest if you could, even just an Italian ice, you don't have to buy any of this stuff. But for somebody who's dairy sensitive, just keeping 1 or 2 flavors on hand is good. I'll let you guys pass this around too. Her information is also in your packet, and so is Meadowvale's with their bladder mix. Yeah. Mommy's Gelato in the bag, they have 5 different ones. They have an almond base, an oat base, a coconut one, a peanut butter one, and I forgot the other one. So they have a big variety. And they can ship to anywhere to you in the US. And it's, again, affordable, shelf-stable. If you aren't going to super hard focus on making dairy-free, but you want to have some options, definitely recommend purchasing Mommy's Gelato for that. Any questions before we go to the, yes?
Follow up on mine. We originated with like a personal home machine, so everything was made at home.
Sure.
What about starting in your kitchen as opposed to getting out into a...
Making your mix?
Yeah, not so many, but making the ice cream at home.
Yeah, if you're doing it at home, that's not a problem. Even if you want to start playing with the bladders, Cisco, Whole Foods, places like that, they usually carry a bag or 2, and you can just go and purchase those and just start having fun with it. Did you have a question? Oh, I thought I saw your hand. Okay.
Does Cisco have places so you can go and actually buy it instead of being delivered? Or would that
Yeah, but it won't be in bulk.
Restaurant Depot would have that?
They would, but it wouldn't be in bulk. It would probably be a case or 2 at a time. I would honestly find a distributor. If you're going to have an ice cream shop, you're going to go through a pallet. And you can freeze these bladders. So we keep them frozen, and you can just get them in, they come 2 in a case, and you just put the case in the freezer, and then I just pull them out and let them, it's called slacking, and they thaw in the refrigerator for the week. I just kind of smack, wiggle, and shake the bag, because you'll start to see it separate the creams and the milks and stuff. But they're shelf stable in the freezer for a year. From the time it hits your freezer, it's in there for a year, so you can order by the pallet. And certain distributors too, so that's another hurdle I get a lot too, is trying to source mix, or they want me to buy a pallet at a time. If you have a store, you're gonna need that pallet. And again, it's freezable, so you could put it in chest freezers if you really needed to, or harden it in your hardening cabinet, then move it to your chest freezer once it's hardened for holding, and it'll stay frozen. So again, you can do the same thing with ice cream too. Is if you bring it down super fast in a hardening cabinet, you can move it to a chest freezer because it's already been frozen solid.
The chest freezers don't usually go down to sub-zero, right?
Some of them do. Those go -10, but again, just keep in mind they're not designed to bring product down fast. It's just designed to keep stuff frozen that's already been frozen, like peas, vegetables, pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, the flash ones are.
Yes.
What's the time when you put it in there? What's like the flash?
If I pack it full and leave the door shut, probably within 6 hours. If I'm putting a couple of tubs in there, like an hour. It goes pretty
Like the
fast.
smaller ones you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. If it's packed full, it's best to just leave it overnight. Definitely don't open and close it because you'll see that temperature rise fast. Yes.
And as far as the hardening cabinets or like a blast freezer, is there a need for both, or is this that?
The terminology between the two, they're both very different from each other, but a lot of people call them the same thing. Blast freezers traditionally are underneath the counter, and they're very small. They're usually for pastry chefs that's flashing a frozen dessert real quick. Hardening cabinets have fans in them that circulate, and they hold temps at really, 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 really low. So you'll be better luck off finding a larger hardening cabinet, much more affordable than you would a blast freezer at that size. So, but they both work. One's not better than the other. If you find a great deal on a huge blast freezer, go for it. Same thing for a hardening cabinet. This is Iberco. This is a powdered product. It's a gelato mix. They make this kind and they make a sorbet kind. This is a fantastic product. I have worked with a lot of powdered products before that you mix with water or you mix with your own milk. Doesn't even compare to something like this. This is again a gelato mix. I can run this as ice cream. I can call it ice cream if I really want to. But we're gonna make a gelato at a very, very low overrun. So the slower the dasher spins, the less air it's gonna put into the product. There are directions on this bag. This calls for whole milk, but Chef Steve from Iberco taught me to use half and half, and I'll never go back. This is also a very great product. This can be on a shelf for a year. You go and get your milk, you go get your cream, milk or cream, whichever you want to use, or the half and half, excuse me. And you can just mix it right there on demand. Can sit in the fridge for a day or two until you're ready to make your ice cream mix. It's a really great product. Okay. So I don't have any scissors, so I'll have to use mine.
And then just dumping it in here?
Mm-hmm. Probably should make sure that works.
Getting every last drop, sorry.
That's perfectly good. They also make a really great compound. Well, I'll let you. So you're going to put, so there's 4 quarts in a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 1 gallon right here. We need 3 1/3, so I
So-
would just do like 1 and then almost a whole one.
Okay,
And then you're good.
so maybe just up until about right there
Yep.
in a second? Okay. Do I want to mix as I go or just
Nope.
dump it all in
Yep,
there
dump it
and
and
have
go.
a blast?
That's it. They go by grams because it's a European country, and I'm like, I don't need grams.
What's the approximate cost on the actual 1 gallon of a Lockhart of an extract? About
The last I knew, it was around 100 a gallon. That was for that particular flavor.
I'll be around right there. huh?
top-notch.
Probably a little more.
No more.
Probably
That's
almost.
top of the line.
Say that again?
That's the top of the line one.
103A, it's got a synthetic to it. It's not 100% all natural.
You say down to there?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
go
okay,
right there.
yeah.
It's not 100% all natural. They do have a bunch of other ones. I've tried their most expensive up to the Madagascar, Madagascar twofold. I still go back to the flavor 103A every single time. To me, I feel like that's just, I'm eating the vanilla flavored product with the Madagascar one and the really expensive one, which that's some people's acquired taste. That's probably yours. But for me, I felt like I was eating the orchid. Like it was too floral for me, you know? Okay.
Should be good, yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
So we're just gonna probably have to, oh, no we don't. So you're just gonna hand immersion this for a minute and a half, and you're just gonna stay at the bottom, go up and down, just make sure it's fully blended.
Like suctions to the bottom.
It does?
It's crazy.
So they also make compound flavors. There's some up there on the top shelf on the left, but they have tons of different flavors. I kind of gave a little breakdown in your pamphlets there that show some of their products. These are also shelf stable once they're open. If I was to stick a spoon in here, now it's contaminated, so it's not shelf stable. You'll have to put it in the fridge. So I just try to pour out of it instead of sticking stuff in it. There are a lot of flavors that we don't want to use compounds for, predominantly almost everything, but there are certain flavors that need help, like birthday cake. If I bought a sheet of birthday cake and I chopped it up into little cubes. If I stick this in the machine, it's not going to taste like a birthday cake. It's just not. Same thing with blueberries. Blueberries are very pretty to look at, but they don't taste as pretty as they look. So compounds or flavoring, syrups, extracts, that's when they need help. Mangoes, again, if I just put mangoes straight in ice cream, it's not going to taste like a wonderful mango ice cream, so you're still going to need a base, a compound, a syrup, a flavor. And everybody has their preference. I like syrups and compounds versus extracts when it comes to boosting flavors. If you are adding like spice, like we did with the jalapeno extract, or we're doing a browned butter flavor, or if we're doing a peppermint, that's when I like to use extracts versus flavorings. Right, you think we're mixed good?
I think so. That was about a minute.
Okay. So we're going to use the CB350. We only need to have 3.5 quarts. So you'll just have to eyeball it. So you'll pour from here, 3.5 quarts into here. The head should just pop.
Oh.
Yeah. Twist one way, I don't know which way. There you go, perfect. I'll take it and put it in the sink for you. Thank you.
No attention here. I'm sorry, you said how much?
You're gonna do 3.5 quarts.
3.5 quarts.
So the max
right
and
here?
minimum, it close is good. The max and minimum for the CB350 is about the same. So 3.5 I like to do if I'm going to be adding inclusions into it. If I'm not and I'm making a plain basic flavor, then I'm going to do 4 quarts of product.
Yeah, looking pretty chunky.
Machine will help with the rest. Just Chef Steve, if you see this, it's okay, I promise.
It's about 3.
That's good.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
There's still some left.
That's quite a, let me see. You're fine.
Yeah.
I've done worse. No.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to pour this into the machine here. So the trick with this is don't rest this on here. You want to start off with a higher pour because the higher pour gives a skinnier stream. The other batch freezers, I've been asked that too, is why don't we have this massive throat? And I kind of chuckle on the inside because when you look at those other batch freezers, their throats are this massive. But when you look in it, a little bitty hole about this big at the bottom that has grates over it. So you can't add anything in there. So it makes it user-friendly to pour mix, but then you can't add anything. So it's kind of silly. So we just keep it like this. And plus, we're all one cast, stainless steel. And then also a new thing we're going to do too is when we are done and wrapped up here, Mr. Mickey is going to come out and he's going to show you how to take apart the door and clean it just so you guys can see how that operates. Okay, so we're going to turn her on. So you're just going to touch the screen. Make ice cream.
It's pretty simple.
Gelato, and start. So we're gonna get her started because you can't have a birthday cake without ice cream, right? So, I mean, without frosting. So let me get you a spatula here. And I'll show you my little trick.
Oh.
Is you're gonna take your spatula, get about yay much, and you're just gonna plop it.
Whole batch, right?
Yep. You don't have to clean it out. And then I got spit on here. So while he does that, we'll talk about the inclusion. So I think in my formula I put we're going to toss it in by hand upon extraction, right? No, we're putting it into the machine? All right, let's put it in the machine. I think the pound cake one, I think, is what we're doing.
Almost there.
Okay.
Last little bits. We're good.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
All right. So me as an ice cream maker, I know nothing's going to happen for the first minute or two. So let's get this refrigeration turned on. So you want to turn on your switch, get her going and started. Here's your glove.
Thanks.
So I do what I call a bartender shot, which we all know I like my boozy flavors. So they have a little control regulator on the nozzle, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, right? So this is a heavy pour. So 1 Mississippi is going to be 2 ounces. So let's just do let's do 2 Mississippis.
2
About
Mississippis.
4 ounces.
Okay.
Less dishes.
1, 2. All right. Good. One more.
Let's do a little more.
I'm underestimating everything here.
Don't make my drink at the bar. Let's go a little more.
Oh my lord. Okay.
Okay. All right, we'll put this on. Now you're just going to take this, and we're not gonna add the whole thing because this is too small of a machine. You're just gonna sprinkle some in there. I froze this before we're adding it to the machine. If I was going to just put a fresh cake in there, it'll do a great job. It'll completely smear, pulverize that cake, but it leaves like this weird gritty texture to it. So freezing it first, and then also it's much easier to cut. Cutting it into chunks, probably about 2 more big handfuls, and we'll call it good. Freezing them into pieces like this and adding it to the machine will help hold its shape and then not completely crumble and make that awful weird texture. Anything that's a pie, a cookie, a candy, a brownie, those don't need to freeze at all. Just go straight into the machine. So we're just going to let this keep running, and then we'll do a cutoff check a little bit to check it. So let's
You
get
get dressed.
Thank you. Any questions about gelatos or products? Say it again.
The gelatos and Italian ice cream, they all go about the same amount of time, or they change based upon like that.
So do gelatos and Italian ices freeze about the same amount of time? No. Again, it's based on your sugar content. So the gelato can freeze in 8 minutes, ice cream can take 15. When we hit our boozy flavor, because we're going to be doing sugar, alcohol, we're probably going to be pushing about 15 minutes on that. This does have a compound. It also has a birthday cake in it, and then we also have sugars in that powder that we use, and then plus the sugars from the half and half. So this will have a pretty good high freeze time for it. But that brings me to talk about something else, is that scooping temperatures. Your scooping temperatures from ice cream, ices, and gelato will all be different. The gelato and Italian ices, you can traditionally get away with sticking it in the same dipping cabinet. Gelato scoops about 13, Italian ices scoop about 16. Depending again, the high sugar content ones will scoop super soft. The low sugar content ones like lemon ice, that's just lemon, sugar, water, will scoop very hard. So keeping those like on the center parts of your dipping cabinet where it's a lot warmer will help with the scooping, versus your high sugar ones keep on the edges, and that'll help with keeping it a lot colder so it's not soup when you're trying to serve your customers. Using a stabilizer also helps with that too. Want to see?
Let's do it. They're looking kind of runny.
Oh, yep, we got a while.
Yeah.
Any other particular questions for this? No? No? Okay. All right. Say that again? 1 gallon. They're 1 gallon containers. These? Yeah, these are 1 gallon containers. I like it, but I am a visual person. I'm gonna go into an ice cream store and I'm gonna look at all of your ice cream and I'm secretly gonna judge you too. But I get the vanilla every single time. Everybody has their favorite. Everybody gets the same ice cream every time. And if you don't treat ice cream well, it can show. So I can see, like when I walk in and see a scoop shop, that they've got a bunch of teenagers and educating your workers about air is ice cream's worst enemy. You ever seen someone scoop and then when they scoop it, it's a different color under the scoop? That's that air on that top layer that's hitting it. So keeping that controlled and keeping your door shut really helps with that, and then also the product and taste of it. So for freshness wise, I really do like this method. But if you're a visual and that's what your intentions are for your store, just remember air is ice cream's worst enemy, and to be sure that they always keep air away from it as much as possible. Keeping lids on it, maybe having the glass stay shut instead of leaving it open while they're talking to the customer. Just simple little things like that can help with the ice cream and its flavor and texture and freshness. And then also with a spade, make sure there's a spade available that can scrape down the sides of the ice cream tub. So have that as a good practice too, so it's not building up. I'm gonna get real mad if I come in there and you're scooping that side of that ice cream tub and you put an ice chunk in my cup. We've all had that happen, right? So keeping a spade and educating, keeping that down, kind of like you're cleaning a jar. You know? I'm gonna put these. Do you think we should toss them in my hand, or I think we're good?
Say that one more time.
You think we should toss them in by hand, or you think that's good enough?
Oh, you talking about more of them?
Well, when they come out.
I don't have a preference. I just
So you can
threw them.
hear
I threw them
how-
in there.
You can hear how you don't hear it sloshing
Yeah.
anymore, so it's gotten thicker if you want to take a peek at it.
Yeah, starting to thicken up.
Yeah. And I'll show you the consistency here just so you can see how thin it is. So that's right there where you see it puddling down. That's too thin for me. I don't like that. I'm going to pull it much thicker than that and a little bit more thicker because we're here and we're trying to feed you guys. Let's taste it. That's birthday cake.
Got that right there.
It tastes like birthday cake. Also, when developing your flavors, keep a notepad and pen down so that way you know how much you add. You're not going to go free willy-nilly like I just did, but we're having fun today. So I would measure that birthday cake compound out in a cup. I have 4 ounces. I write 4 ounces down. I pour it in there. Then I taste it. You can stick your spoon in there, taste it. I don't like it. I need to add a little more to it. And then also your flavors will bloom overnight. Ice cream's a dairy. Dairy is a protein. It absorbs flavors. So tomorrow morning when you go to taste it, so I suggest tasting it here as you make it, and then again the next day, take it out, take a scoop, taste it. It might not be strong enough for you because it's absorbed flavors. And it might be too much for you because it just tasted great then and there, but when it's in a solid state, the taste is different. So you know you can always take away this, or you can take away or add a little bit more of that. You don't need months to experiment. You don't need to have a machine for a year in advance, 6 months in advance. You're gonna get your flavor by the second try, I promise. Adding this stuff here, this is my first time making birthday cake. I know it takes birthday cake. I know we use frosting on a cake. Sprinkles are not an ice cream's best friend. They kind of bleed a little bit. So definitely don't put those in there. You'll have like a brown, purple ice cream. It won't be pretty to look at. And then I know a compound, because birthday cake, you can't really put that in there and give it that flavor you're looking for. We're at 8.5 minutes, so I'm gonna probably say Another couple more minutes, probably 14, will probably be what I want to pull it at to serve you guys, but we can pull it sooner. So you see the consistency difference within just a matter of a couple minutes. Once it hits that mark, it'll start thickening up pretty quickly. So it might have taken 6 minutes to get that far, but it's not going to take another 6 minutes to finish. So once it hits there, then it'll start freezing a lot faster. You could probably put 25 cups. Did leak a lot. Any questions about flavorings or gelatos or scooping? So you'll notice these are gelato pans. These are actually liners. So what you would have, a gelato display case will have hard stainless steel ones that sit in there, and then these are your liners. So you'll make your product in this, put the lid on it, and then you just drop the liners in your gelato display case. Some people serve ice cream out of these. I prefer traditional scoop tubs. Being that I have served in high volumes before, it's very frustrating to swap these in and out because you're going to go through these in a heartbeat. They're also very flimsy. You might get 2 uses out of this and they're going to crack. The lids suck. I don't like it. So sticking with traditional scoop tubs or going with the 1 gallon tubs, those are good too, but I'm not a fan of these unless it is a gelato. I'll talk to you about scoops in a little bit. I always like these. These are Z-roll scoops. These are big known in the industry. They really go far. They have a liquid in the base and the handle that'll help with thawing out product. They sit in a dipping well beautifully. These have nooks and crannies. I'm that weird person. When I buy things, I look at nooks and crannies because I don't want to have stuff stuck in places that can get sticky or their bacteria can grow. But these are very well known in the industry. You'll really like these. You have a lot of control. Put fingers here and do this. And if your scoop is warm, it'll release that ice cream perfect. So there's no need for anything like this. Maybe if you're doing like a really pretty setup, or if you have a restaurant that you're adding ice cream to and you want to make that perfect little dollop, something like this. But traditional stores, I would use this. I
noticed that some of the stores, they have those, to be washing them, and they have like a water permeating and cleaning out.
Yes.
Is that something that's available? I know that Stone Cold has their own kind of setup. Is that setup available for us also to purchase?
So there is a Lowell machine, and it's like a little nozzle, and you put the scoop on it and you push it down and it sprays and cleans the scoop. And then you have wells. So C. Nelson is a company that sells dipping wells, and then Lowell, I'd have to get you in contact with. I think I'm saying it right. Both are great. Some people do have a scoop for each flavor, so they don't have to worry about a dipping well. But I will tell you that if you do that method, your ice cream scoops are cold. So we've all seen how pretty that ice cream scoops in a roll and it starts curling up. That's from a warm scoop. If you had an ice cold scoop sitting in that dipping cabinet and you try to do that, it's just you're gonna be like picking it up and trying to like scoop, and it'll be sticky, but that's how you get that pretty scroll that you see is from a warm scoop from a dipping well, or a like you just wash it individually. It's worth the investment, and it's worth getting the plumbing there for it.
And is that in the paperwork here, that contract? Or?
I don't have them in there, but I can, so you'll just have to contact me and then I'll get you in touch with the person. They're in Massachusetts, and we're Norwood. They're in Norwood. Those are the guys that'll get you. They're a distributor for them. And it's like a standalone machine, so it kind of makes it even better. You don't have to worry about hooking it on anything, so it's a great little product. So we're gonna do a cutoff check. So you're just gonna open, close the gate. Close, very good. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, I would pull it. So let's pull it into this. I'll take that from you.
Thank you.
So now that we're done with our product, you're gonna shut off the refrigeration. Never stop this, because there's no reason to. When you're ready to pull, even if you think it needs 30 more seconds, this is still gonna freeze for at least 30 more seconds. So you're ready. So you're just gonna open it and just slide your pan back and forth. So this is a 5-liter pan. We ran a gelato, so we put 3.5 quarts in, and it didn't have much expansion because of why? Who's listening? We ran it on gelato setting. Very good, lower speed. So the slower the dasher spins, the less air it's going to add. The faster it spins, the more. So your yield isn't going to be as high. So some ask, well, should I run my flavors on super premium or homemade? I'm going to tell you to always run it on homemade. Your customer's not going to come back because you had fantastic air content. They're going to come back because you had fantastic product. And plus, the ability to add so many inclusions will make it still a very dense and a very heavy and a very good creamy texture. So to get more bang for your buck, run it on that homemade setting. And then you can hit that up arrow there and make it go faster. Yep. So when you hit that up arrow, you're increasing the dasher speed, and it increases in 5 RPM increments. So you can slow it down, make it go faster. If you're on homemade setting, that's as fast as it'll go. But let's say you're filling pints and you want to go slower. So you would just slow it down so that way you're not full speed ahead trying to fill your pints or quarts. So you can just hit stop and you're ready to scoop it. The difference between premium and homemade is what he asked. So that would be your overrun and your fat content.
Which one have more air?
Homemade will always have 100% overrun, will always be your more air. Super premium also traditionally would be a higher butter fat. So they usually around 14, 16%. You can still run it on a super premium setting, run it at 10% and still call it a super premium ice cream. There's really no law by definition that says you can or you can't. Just the 10% butter fat and what it contains. That's the only FDA regulated that tells you what you can and cannot call it. So if you've ever been at the grocery store and you see like something that says frozen desserts, you know it doesn't have 10% butter fat in it. It's not real. Or a soft serve treat or something they call, or frozen treat. That's the only thing that's regulated.
Does the overrun and air content affect flavor?
No, I'm going to say no. I've never ran one fast and one slow. I've ran multiple flavors on different overruns and I've not had the flavor change. The only one to consider is fat content again. So the higher the fat content, the more it's going to absorb. So every recipe that we have on YouTube and then also in our book there, it's based on 10%. Most of the, if not all of them, will work just fine on your 12, 14, 16%. You'll probably struggle with certain things, lose a little bit in color. So a pistachio in a 10% will be very pronounced and very green. You use that same formula in a 14, 16, it'll be very faint looking. That's that fat content soaking that up. So increasing certain types of flavors for different fat contents, you will have to adjust for that.
Do you guys have those adjustments in the cookbook? Like where you say, if at a 10% you want to use X number of ounces, at a 16 you might want to have it?
No, we don't do that because it could just vary. And also sometimes it depends on your region too. Your preference might be 12%, but your supplier can only get you 14. It would take a lot of book space too. So while he's still doing that. Almost.
So close.
That brings to another topic too of custard. So this is not a custard machine. A true custard machine has 2 heads, 3 heads, and it slowly, continuously keeps coming out, and it is ridiculously thick. It is so thick you can take a spoon and cut a hole in it and it doesn't collapse itself. It stays that hole in that big old fat stream of custard coming out. It's amazing. It's a very dense product. It has no overrun. With that said, these can make a custard. So it's a batch custard, a scoop custard. So you could put any base in there that has a egg yolk, which is the only difference between ice cream and custard is just egg. So we have custard mix in there. Honestly, I can't taste the difference. It looks different. Like there's a sheen to the ice cream, like a shiny sheen to it with a custard versus not. And the eggs just kind of also help as a stabilizer too. But you can put that in there, run it on custard setting. You can run it on homemade setting, ice cream setting, doesn't matter. It still runs, performs the same, but it would just be a batch custard. So he asked about variegation and swirls. So we're actually going to do that today with the warm peanut butter, and we're going to put it in here carefully. And we're going to do it that same method with the squeeze bottle. Hold on one second. So always make sure gate's closed And then you want to pour the water in here. Let's start slow. There you go. And then there's another method that Jeff does. That's probably my most favorite because it makes that real beautiful marble swirl. There is a link that I can email you. Just shoot me an email and ask for that. Or you can just go onto YouTube and then search strawberry cherry cheesecake. And it'll show Jeff and how his method of how he does his variegate. It's pretty easy. I really like it, and it makes that beautiful marble that you're looking for. Okay? Very good. I'll take that. So just touch the screen. Hit make ice cream. This one. And then just pick homemade, the first one, and start. And we'll just let it spin for a little bit so we can rinse it. Just let it flush itself. You can come up if you'd like to record her if you'd want. We did a gelato in this. It is a dairy. I would always recommend your non-dairy flavors. I'm doing everything backwards today, aren't I? To do it first for dairy intolerances or dairy allergies. I scooped at NAFM and I scooped 4,500 servings, quite a bit. You can hit stop. And then just slowly open that. Hold your bucket. Yep. And out of that 4,500 scoops and customers I did scoop for, they probably about 30 to 40 asked, do you have any dairy-free flavors? I said yes, and it's my Italian ices, and I pointed to those. And I did say, with the disclosure, I did say, however, it was made on this machine that also had dairy made on it. Every single one of them but one said okay. That's fine. And the other one said he better not take a chance. So there is that one out there. Out of 4,500 people, one, it happened. And they said they didn't want to take a chance. So definitely always start at the top. Don't, with making non-dairy and your nut-free flavors first, you don't want to take that chance for a customer. And plus, customers will always come back if you, make sure that they're okay, they're taken care of. Their little boy that has a gluten intolerance, and you have gluten-free waffles. I mean, that's kind of extreme, but they taste the same as a regular waffle. Nobody's going to be able to tell the difference.
Probably the same thing with the ice creams that have the cookies or the cakes or any of that in it too.
Yeah. And if you want to sanitize and rinse in between batches, you're happy to do so. Certain states, like New York, an example, if you introduce water to this, like we just did, you would need to re-sanitize it again. Florida, you don't have to do that. I don't understand that method. You wash with it, you shower with it, you brush your teeth with it, but why do we need to re-sanitize because of touched water, right? So you're good? Yep. And then just pour her out. You want to do one more? So that way we got some clear water coming out. Any questions about Italian ices or sorbets before we get started? Yes?
Do you do sugar-free ones?
So you can do a sugar-free, but keep in mind whatever you put into it also has to be sugar-free. So it would be best to advertise it as a no sugar added. So if you're doing a strawberry Italian ice and you use real strawberries, strawberries naturally contain sugar. So you can use a sugar substitute, but you would still need to say it's a no sugar added. Allulose is a good substitute for a sugar. The allulose to sugar ratio is the same. So you can't substitute for like a monk fruit or a Splenda. The Splendas is like a 1/4 cup to 2 pounds. The machine has to have something to freeze. So if you do strawberries and a water and then a cup of monk fruit, it's not going to freeze. It just won't. It's science behind it. It has to have something to freeze. So it would be 2 pounds of allulose to 2 pounds of sugar. And you can do that with any sugar or any Italian ice recipe we have. So just take the sugar and substitute it for an allulose. You didn't even need any of my help. Doing good. Good job. As you can see, like so many people, we've already gone through 3 flavors and you guys have all helped. It is so easy to do. We are foolproof. You can't make mistakes. And just like he said back there, it doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want. And it's not game on until you turn on this refrigeration switch. Okay? You can hit stop. I think that's good. So it only really took kind of 2 rinses. I'm not going to worry about that. It's not going to affect our ices and you won't taste it in there. Probably open it all the way. There you go. And then you can do the start, stop. With Italian ices or sorbets, it doesn't have to be water. It can be just straight juice. It could be apple juices, apple cider, mango juices, pineapple juices. It doesn't matter. It never has to be a water. So again, we're doing all natural, minus whatever Welch's puts in theirs, and doing real ingredients. Okay. So we need to have 2 quarts of this and 2 quarts of this. This is going to be a little shy, so just this whole thing here. And pour it in here. There you go. Up until we hit 4 quarts, this line. So a little trick of keeping your container facing out is as you're pouring, you can watch your gradient line here. If you had it this way, you'll be staying like this trying to pour your stuff. So almost this whole thing. There you go. Just to the 4 quarts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you're just going to pour it in there. When, let me get you a spatula. Then you can just stir it. When you work with any type of sugar, whether it's an allulose or a regular type of sugar, you don't have to mix it pre-hand and you don't have to fully dissolve it. I like to get it wet first before going into the machine because trying to pour dry sugar down a throat, it can get stucky and just stuff like that. Plus sugar acts like sandpaper on your blades. You will not hurt your machine, you won't hurt the blades, it just will decrease the value of the life of your blades because it does act like sandpaper. But I'm talking it's very small, it's minimal, so it's not much. However, if that's all you make is Italian ice, you'll notice the Italian ice makers will go through their blades a lot faster than just ice cream makers will. That's good. Okay. You can just lay it here. That'll be okay. See how much over. That's okay. Okay, so you're going to take this. And you're going to pour it in there. Again, just squishing the bag. This is mango chunks and pineapple chunks. So it's a little more than 4 quarts, and then we're going to add this and make it a lot of volume in there. But we're going to run it and see what happens, and if anything, we can just expel a little bit of it. But How much expansion do you think that this Italian ice or sorbet is going to make? Very good. You guys are smart. So Italian ice doesn't have any expansion because there's no fat. So fat equals expansion. Sugar, water, fruit, stick it in the bowl, whisk it all day long. It's not going to do anything. It's still going to be sugar, water, fruit. Do that same thing with heavy cream. It's going to turn into its own whipping cream because there's a fat content to it. So we can run this as fast, as slow as we want. It's not going to expand, but just kind of like if you stuck a water bottle in the freezer, it'll expand to freeze. Same thing, so maybe 17, 20%, but that's just because it's expanding to freeze, not because there's a fat content. All right, so you can open that. Open this one too.
These probably don't take as long to freeze either. These probably don't run as long.
This one can because it's sugar, 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 and sugar. Probably your gloves. They're always not fun to work with. So let's get her started first. Oh yeah, this one's not open yet. There we go. So touch the screen. The top one. So you have to find Italian ice, which would be on the next page. So hit more recipes. Italian ice, the top one. Yep. And start. All right, and then you can just pour it right in there. I'll swap you. Okay, I'll take it. And then you're ready to turn on your refrigeration right here. Yep. That's it. And then right here, it's going to start your timer so you can see how long the freeze time is going to take. You wash my hands. So with the CB350, you can still hang out with me up here. That's okay. I'll clean it up after everybody's gone. With the CB350, it is a smaller cylinder. You guys will be able to see that at the end. So we'll do the factory tour and then we'll come back and then we'll go over all of that stuff too. If you want to stay, if you need to go, that's okay too. But it is a smaller cylinder, so your playroom isn't as much as it would be with the 24 quart. So as we talked earlier, if you're adding the one bladder of 10 quarts, we still got plenty of room to go add 4 whole packages, the family size ones of Oreos if we wanted to, or that whole gallon container of pound cake, or that birthday cake into the machine. This small cylinder here, so whenever you work with any types of product, you have to keep in mind of your volume ratio so you're not overfilling the machine. With Italian ices, it's really not going to matter too much. We'll just keep an eye on it. If it gets a little much, we'll just expel some of it, and then it'll start freezing up super fast because it's got room now to freeze. But overfilling a machine can also affect your freeze times too, which you as an ice cream maker will learn that very, very fast. I'll show you the little CB200 while that's going. It is tiny. This is a great little guy for if you have, looking for like menu expansion. Restaurants, hotels, pizzerias, you're looking for anything that's just trying to add on to a menu, or those places where they charge you like $12 a scoop of ice cream. So as you can see, he's an itty bitty little guy, very tiny, small but mighty. I do a lot of R&D with this in my kitchen, and I have a lot of friends that I did not know I had. So all of our batch freezers are a spring-loaded concept. Again, we'll go over those things. So they have little arms that stick out with a spring and then a blade. This is all that it is. Everything is dishwasher safe for every single one of our machines, the doors and the dashers. If you have a dishwasher that can fit that dasher, that's pretty, I'd be impressed with that. So while these products are in the machine, so this right here, so it's probably full about right here. There's no fill line, there's no, go to look into it, now it's at the fill, there's none of that. So it's a measured amount that you put into the machine. Like a 10-quart bladder, you have 3.5 to 4 quarts, and this one's only 2 quarts. So an example, you put in your liquid mix, so I put in 1 quart of mango juice, 1 quart of pineapple juice. That's only giving me this much more space of playroom to add any inclusions into it. I love the CB200, and she doesn't get enough attention. So you can see in here, it's still very slushy, you can see. I will talk about this too. So this is a stand that we have for purchase with the CB350. If you do purchase this, just make sure whatever the CB350, make sure whatever you put it on can withhold up to 300 pounds. Another thing to keep in mind is the counter space. If you were to put that CB350 up here on a normal counter, which some do, I can't see in it now. I can't look in it, I can't add stuff in it. So also keep that in mind if you're building out a space. Keep your counter lower so that way you as an ice cream maker and whoever else is going to be helping you can be able to see into the machine. The stand that we do offer, it has the casters with it and the hardware to bolt the machine to the stand. So it comes with everything. It's already assembled. You just got to put the CB350 on the stand, bolt her down, and then you can wheel her anywhere you need to go. Anybody doing like a commercial kitchen, commissary, going to be working out of that?
Maybe a church.
A church?
Yeah.
So purchasing a stand like that with the wheels, that's good too. There's also this option here. I'll bring it to the camera view. So something like this as well, as long as it can hold 300 pounds. There are holes in the bottom of the CB350 feet, so if you did find something else, it's still mountable that way if you wanted to do that. I still recommend our stand though, for obvious reasons.
What's your stand run? What do you get for it?
Not on camera. So we're at 5.5 minutes. It's still pretty sloshy, but it's still pretty, oh, I just got spit on. But it's getting there. We have a lot of sugar. You wanted to come look? Oh. Any questions so far? Yes?
I recommend put this machine in a restaurant kitchen.
The 24 quart?
Yeah.
So he has to recommend put it in a restaurant kitchen. Absolutely.
Does it absorb the smell of the other food?
Does it absorb the smell of the other food? No. So the 24 quart, I would always recommend a water-cooled version. The water-cooled produces no heat. So you can back it up against a wall, shove it in a corner, put it in a basement, and it's not going to produce any heat in your kitchen. The CB350 only comes in air-cooled. It'll get kind of stuffy where you're at. Just keep the good ambient temperature and keep it cooler in the room, and you won't have too hot. The big guys, if you go air-cooled, I don't recommend that. It pumps out about 18,000 BTUs. It's going to make your area hot real fast. Plus, you have to have ample airspace all around the machine, so sticking with a water-cooled is the best. There's no plumbing involved. It's just a water supply to the machine and then a drain. We have our drain right here that's just hanging on the 3-base sink with a little S-hook. It's not a big, huge gushing amount coming out. It's just a little tiny steady stream. The supply and the drain can be 100 feet away, up a wall, round a corner. It does not matter. As long as the machine just gets a good supply and a good drain, you're good to go.
Are those tubes included with the machine?
Say that again?
Are those tubes included with the machine?
So are the hoses included with the machine. So we provide up to 6 foot for you, and then after that, if you need it longer, they're just standard washing machine hoses, so you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick them up longer if you need it. So it got a lot thicker. Looks good. So we will put it in these. So these are quarts. We can leave it there for now. So I anticipate 6. Or close to 6. Filling pints and containers from the machines. It's much easier to fill pints and quarts in small containers from a CB350 versus a 24 quart. I do not recommend going straight from the machine on a 24 quart, anything smaller than a quart. Anything smaller than that, you're gonna struggle, and it's not gonna be a good consistency throughout your entire pints if you go smaller. Reason is because it's gonna take you a while. So you have 6 gallons of product trying to come out. And the longer it's in there, that dasher's spinning. It's incorporating air into your product. So your first set of pints will be on par, right? The last half of your pints are going to be very fluffy, very airy, because it's been in there just staying churned and getting fluffed over it over and over. So it's good to extract it all at once, or if you're super fast in the quarts, go for it. I usually pull that little wheelie table up, I line all my quarts there, and then I just boom, boom, boom myself, which you can easily do as well unless you're adding like inclusions or some toppings like that. Another practice is they extract it all at once, harden it for 18, 22 minutes, their preference, pull it back out, and then hand scoop into their containers. Another trick, I wouldn't do it with clear because customers can see through that, but on the wax lined pints, you don't need a pint sealing machine, just freeze it upside down. So air, again, is ice cream's worst enemy, and if you ever opened up a Haagen-Dazs and it just like peels off the top of the ice cream, or Ben & Jerry's, they still do this practice. They freeze all of their pints upside down. So if you go and look at their production facility, all of these pints are coming down on those hooks upside down. So it's creating its own natural seal. So if you have pints and you're pulling them out in there, take them, freeze them upside down like that, it's going to create that beautiful little seal that you're used to seeing from a grocery store. So let me get you a clean one. So you want to do the cutoff check, so you're just going to open close pretty fast. Hold it up here. So it's a really pretty yellow. So it's a little thin for me, so we're going to wait a little bit. Now with this Italian ice, again, it's something you want to freeze super fast, otherwise it's going to look like that angry cider where it's going to start to separate and sit on the bottom. If we were to take this and set it out on the counter, it's probably going to start happening within a matter of like 30 minutes. Any questions?
Do you have any idea to put an 8 and 16 ounce container fast?
How to put 8 and 16 ounce containers fast. I would recommend a pint filling machine for that. So there's a company called Sawvel Automation. It's on the key supplier list that's in your packet, SAWVEL. It's for also barbecue sauces, things like that. It's just a hopper, and you put your ice cream in it and it has the containers, or you'll get the containers and it'll fill those pretty quickly. That's what I would recommend instead of trying to do that by hand. We're at 11 and a half minutes. I think we're probably going to pull it in another minute. You want to do another little quick check? That's okay. We'll let it go for another minute, minute and a half, and then we'll pull it from there. Sure? Yep, you can try it. Okay, you can wait till 13. Italian ices, if you pull it on the thicker side, you don't have that big of a chance to leave product behind like you would ice cream. So if you do pull ices a little bit thicker, it's not going to be as thick and stuck to so much as an ice cream would. Perfect. So just turn off the refrigeration, and then you'll just open this. Hold on. That's the bad one. This is the good one. So leave it down, open that, and then just slide it back and forth. But we were going to do it in that, weren't we? That's okay. We can repack. Mm-hmm. I'll take that, and you can put them in these, what's left, and I'll scoop it for you. So again, we used nothing but juice, sugar, and fruit. That's it. That was just the 3 things that we used. And And your juices can be something you squeeze yourself. It could be something local to you. It can be your favorite juice from Costco or Sam's Club. It doesn't, I think I've tried every juice you can imagine down the juice aisle. The only things I found that doesn't work are lemonades because they're so diluted. For lemonade flavors, I really like the Country Time powders, and those mix really well, and it's kind of, you can add a little more. I always add an extra scoop of what it says to just make it more concentrated. Same thing with sodas. Sodas, you do not have to buy a concentrate. I've used sodas many times, root beers, Dr. Peppers, made like a creamy root beer. I've made creamsicles before. So just making the soda flat first, and usually I'll just open the soda and pour it back and forth into a container until it deflates itself. If you put it in the machine fresh with sugar, it acts like a volcano. So it starts fizzing and foaming out. But other than that, I've just done straight soda. Any questions or ices or sorbets or any questions for me? Kind of like a little quick Q&A before we break for lunch.
So what was the cost for that?
Of
The ingredient you just bought.
Say that again? The cost
Yeah, the cost.
of this?
Yeah.
Cost of the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
The sugar cost me $4, but I only used half a bag, so that's $2. The fruit was $3 a bag, so that's $6, that's $8. And then the juice, I think those pineapple juices are like $3 something a can, so that's $12. And then the mango juice was $3 something. So I spent $15 and I made about 6 quarts of product.
So how much would your ice cream cost?
That, if it was my store in a 5-ounce cup, I would probably sell it for about $5, $4 to $5, $4 to $6 really. And you 3 cups sold and you've made your money back. It's literally cha-ching. It's profits. It's nothing but profits. And again, you control that ingredient cost, not me.
And what did you say to help it not break down? What was the key for that?
Stabilizers. But if you're turning this fresh and you're going to have like a good 3-5 days, you don't need to use a stabilizer. You can do experimenting just to see. This right here, if this was my store, I would sell this for $10 to go. It's all natural. We actually have people at the Florida beaches. I'm sure if you've been, they have backpacks that are coolers and they walk around with stuff like this and they are packed to alcohol. And they charge $20 a piece. Illegal, but I still buy it.
At the beach, everything.
What?
At the beach, everything's legal.
That's right. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, 8 o'clock. If she doesn't like sweet, can you reduce the sugar? No. Again, because the machine needs something to freeze. If you take away that sugar, it's not going to freeze and it'll just spin like a slush. So the machine has to have a sugar of some sort to freeze. Some will need 2 pounds and some only call for 1.5 pounds, but the rule of thumb is always 2 pounds. 4 quarts of liquid, 2 pounds of sugar for the CB350, and then 14 quarts of liquid and 7 pounds of sugar for a 24 quart. So again, I can help you with those formulas and ratios when you get there, but that's usually the rule of thumb. The alcohol-infused ones or my Malibu or my Pina Colada, I back it down a little bit, like a 1/2 pound I take away. Some also with consistency. So who's had like a ridiculously creamy Italian ice? It was just so creamy, so smooth, right? It's the sugar. So the more sugar you add, the smoother the texture is going to be. If I was to do sugar and water with 2 pounds of sugar, the water, and a flavor, it will nowhere near be this creamy. But because the juices have sugar in it, it raised that creamy texture in it. So if I still want this way smoother and more softer and creamier, I can add another 1/2 pound of sugar to this. That'll just help with my creamy smoothie texture. Or you can keep it and knock it down and make like a granita, where it's a little bit more crunchy to the pound. Is Mary Beth's going to be up here doing this with us, and for those of you watching, the first flavor of the volunteer was her husband, so we have a couple today, both getting a hands-on experience. This is a chocolate bladder. Your dairy mix most likely will not have a chocolate mix readily available. It's kind of a specialty type of mix. It does taste like almost like a chocolate milk when you go to taste it, and it makes a very, very rich, creamy base to it, to your flavor that you want to make that's any chocolate based. I personally just buy Forbes chocolate powder, whose information is also in your packet. It's a powder that you would add to the vanilla, just kind of get it wet, and the machine will do the rest of it. Or you can buy a chocolate base. These are, like I said, harder to find, so it's not very common to have these, but they are very good if you do get your hands on one of these. Okay, so do you remember a little secret trick?
Yeah, you have to choke it.
Choke and smack. Okay.
Choke and snap it.
So are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
So you're going to hold with your left, choke
Ah.
with your left. There you go. So you're going to take the cap off first.
Okay. Smart to stand back.
Oh, well, you know.
I don't trust myself either. Perfect. All right. For those of you wondering, this is weight training. It's good for women that are in their 50s.
It's like a toddler. It's like holding a toddler. Yes.
350. What size breakers? What size breakers is 350 on?
20 amp.
20 amp.
20 amp on the CB350. You could probably not choke so much.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay, there we
you
go. I'm like, man, this is taking forever.
You have to release the choke as you pour it.
I'm really good at that, I guess.
It's a good thing it's not in here.
Again, very good resistance training here.
You guys all did great, though. Most people, if they just go blindly trying to pour a bladder straight into the machine, it's a guaranteed mess. Like I said, no, it's silly, goofy, but you'll never forget and you'll never make a mess.
That was a wonderful. Whoever came up with that trick, Christy, you're amazing.
Me, I did.
Because I'm usually a slob, so there we go. At least with pouring.
Okay.
I think it's pretty much.
There you go. All right. So we're going to add a Nutella to the machine. Jeff always blends his first with his little drill and homemade paint mixer on the end. This is my favorite thing to mix things with. I've just got to be the master of the arts of plopping it in. So I'll just show you real fast. The little small one will probably be better.
Yeah.
No need to scrape the jar clean. Your ice cream store, you definitely will. But I get a plop like this. And then I do that, and it just, if you look, it just slid right in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but let's get her started. Make ice cream. We're just going to do homemade and start. Okay. You don't have to scrape her clean.
Okay.
I'll help so we get a little faster. But staying sideways, too, will help.
Messy.
Smaller spatulas are ideal. Again, don't like dishes, so perfecting the art of perfect aim is crucial. Mine's pretty thin. I wonder if I can
Just kind of pour it in.
Oh, hot diggity dog, look at that.
Yeah, we'll do this one next then. Because I still have about a third of it to go.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a big splash. I think I got one more.
I have tried Nutella, or as I was mentioning before, you can control your ingredient costs. Nutella and this great value hazelnut spread, same thing, somebody makes it. Prior to me working here, manufacturing is kind of my DNA. I worked for Solo Cup for over a decade. Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Same Solo Cup plate, same Solo Cup cup. different label. So there's a lot of brands out there. It is a solo plate, but it has a different label on it. Same thing goes with food ingredients. Same company makes it, different label. So we're ready to turn on our refrigeration. So we got everything in there. We do have chocolate chips, but go ahead and start. Chocolate chips, they're small, so I want to keep them a little bit more suspended. So we're gonna wait probably about 2-3-ish minutes into the batch, let it kind of, let that Nutella mix in, and then we'll add our 2 bags of Reese's peanut butter chips. You can freeze these as well. So if you find a really good deal, you get them on clearance, it's after Christmas, it's a great flavor, some peppermint chips are available. They freeze amazingly and they can go from freezer straight into the machine. A lot of customers do it that way. Jeff does it that way. I have, for the longest time, thought that it would help hold its viscosity and shape on the mini chocolate chips going from freezer to there, and it does no difference going from straight to room temp, shelf off of the bat, in the bag, straight into the machine. Mini chocolate chips are pretty hard. It's kind of hard to beat those up. They still keep their shape. So you're fine keeping them in the shelf or putting them in the freezer, doesn't matter which way. M&Ms though, I will tell you M&Ms, their coating color does bleed. So keeping those frozen and going from there straight into the machine, because that's gonna be super cold. It's gonna keep the M&Ms cold with it, so it's not gonna turn around and start bleeding as the M&M would melt, essentially, even though it's cold. We'll probably go another minute or two. Okay. Or maybe 1 minute. This is gonna be good. Any questions about peanut butters or chocolate chips? Anything on that? Okay. So peanut butter, I would be very careful with. You can add a whole jar of peanut butter in there and be just fine. If you add 4 or 5, that peanut butter likes to separate from the mix. So when your vanilla mix is coming out, you'll see brown specks. That's that peanut butter. So it kind of look like a vanilla bean speck to you, but it's the peanut butter. It's the solids and the fat, and the peanut butter has a really hard time blending with the mix. So smaller amounts of peanut butter goes really far. And if you really want to have like this extreme amount of peanut butter, I definitely recommend hand mixing the peanut butter first with an immersion blender with your mix before putting it into the machine, just so it really kind of breaks down a lot better. Because it's just two paddles in there, 2 blades that's doing all of the mixing for you. I think you're good. No other batch freezer you can do this. You immediately void the warranty on everything. Again, it's my biggest thing I love to talk with people about. You cut out the middleman. It's just you, a machine, and a grocery store. That's all you need. You know, you want to come up off the crazy wall flavors, go for it. I've made pizza ice cream. It was really good. Chef Steve from Iberico actually beat me one up on that. He put vinegar pearls and drizzled it with olive oil and made a tomato jam. That was amazing. I ate the whole bowl. Ranch flavored ice cream, awful, but you know what? It gets people in the door. Don't have to eat it. Keep a little container of it, put a little sign there, go crazy. It's your flavors, it's your creation. You can buy, can't see it because the table's there, but there's big boxes of chocolate chips. They're like 5-10 pounds. You can buy those in bulk, keep them in the freezer and just scoop out however many you need, or you can buy them in the little individual bags. It's your choice, it's your cost. This is warm still, so I think we're okay. Oh, good. I do want to do a couple of these. Is this how the baristas do it? Oh, no, that's got to be warmer. That don't look very good. I'm gonna go eat this up. I'll be right back.
I was just say warm it up, and then you can kind of do it so it's.
Yeah.
All right, so I would probably, let me see if I'm not saying that I really know what I'm doing.
Look at that, pro, ladies and gentlemen.
That
well, we gotta save some for a variegated too, so.
Yeah.
But we'll use that. Perfect.
I kind of missed that one spot there, but I think it's okay.
Good, good.
The part facing out's covered.
Let me get some.
You have a fun job.
paints. Oh, thanks.
The creative license that you can take
Yeah.
to try new things.
It's definitely unreal. Okay, so these three are clean, and we'll do that. So she's gonna extract, and then I'm just gonna take the squeeze bottle and just kind of squeeze the marble swirl in it. There's no need to fold, there's none of that. The way that Jeff does it, I'll just give a little brief breakdown real fast. Goodness. Again, send me an email and I can send you that clip back. But what he does is he'll extract ice cream all into here, and then he'll put a little layer about this much into one container. Then he'll take his peanut butter syrup that he made and he'll kind of thin it out with some dairy mix and make it a little bit more thinner than this. And then he'll layer that like a little thin layer of like a plop. Ice cream, the variegate layer, ice cream. Then after that, he'll take his spatula and he'll fold it. 1, 2, because you don't want to stir it. And after you fold it, then you take your tub, squish it like so, and when you pour it out, it's going to mix that peanut butter and that chocolate and make that really gorgeous marble that you've seen all the time and before. That's my favorite method. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it looks really great when you go to scoop anything. Downside is it does ruin your tubs over time, so kind of make one that's like dedicated. Might get 5, 6 uses out of it, but that's okay. Again, your profits are really high, and you're only going to be doing it for a few flavors. It's not for like your entire lineup of flavors. So we put Nutella, so it should get thick pretty quick. Let's use a fresh one. So we're only 8 minutes in, so I don't anticipate it to be super thick, but I anticipate it to be at a good consistency. So if you want to do a little cutoff check, too much.
Whoa. That was a lot cut off.
Yeah, so boop boop, that's all it takes. We can actually add that back. We got some room.
I think we should.
So there's a spatula over there. Oops, that's okay. So just hold it up at an angle and scoop her back. Don't it look so good?
It looks really good, actually. Like it needs to go back in there because it looks that good.
Probably take your spatula and push.
And yeah.
Come on, it'll make its way. You're good, it'll make its way down.
Okay.
There you go.
Now it's more of like a test block.
No worry, you can put it on this. The spatula.
Okay.
So let's definitely use these two at least. We'll put those others back. And put them back on that shelf over there. I think this one's gonna be my favorite.
I'm excited.
We've made a lot of products. We've made homemade, we've made super premium, we've made sorbet, we've made a gelato. We're going to also make an Italian ice. So one machine, different, many possibilities. So we are also the only batch freezer that can make all of these. All the other batch freezers out there has a very fast speed or a very slow speed. There's nothing in between, and of course, there's nothing that you can add into the machine except for flavorings, gels, and whatnot, and everything that you have to put in the machine, you have to make it baby food before you can even put it into the machine. Again, that's making you rely on suppliers, something that we love our suppliers, we love our vendors, they're great people, they're great fun, but if we don't have to use them, we don't want to. During the pandemic, we had the biggest boom. People that were buying wholesale could not get their favorite flavors. Their customers were upset. They couldn't get their butter pecan. They couldn't have their cookies and cream. And it honestly didn't matter what was going on during that pandemic. You can go to 13 gas stations, Family Dollars, Dollar Generals. You're gonna find Oreos somewhere. You're gonna find your product to make whatever you need to. I think we're pretty good, so just boop, boop. A little more.
Aw.
Perfect.
There we go.
So that's a pretty good consistency. If it was my store, I would pull it at that so it's not going to be too thick and just kind of popping up on things. Maybe we'll save these for the last because I don't want to run out of this.
Of the peanut butter.
Yeah. I got it pretty warm, so we should be good. We'll shut her off at 12.
12, okay.
And we'll pull it. And then when you pull it, don't open it up all the way, just kind of open it slow, so I've got time to squirt.
Deal.
And then you're just gonna slide it back
I'll try
and
not to
forth
be
like
so
that.
aggressive.
Yeah. These shelves here can be removed, so if you want to make it lower and have a little table that's lower than that with wheels, you're welcome to do that too. Everything on our machine's removable. I think you're good. Ready? Nope, nope, nope.
Oh,
refrigeration. Okay, so now you're just gonna open it slowly and slide your container. Oh, it!
The lid's right there. It's right there. There it is.
So much for that idea. Okay, I got this. So come over on that side. A little more. Okay, close it. So because that did that,
Then you have to be a little more gentle and spreading that out. Yeah. Oh, you're good.
all right.
It's like you've done this before.
Accidents happen. You can go more.
Oh,
Okay.
a little bit. Yeah. Oop. We'll just call it a happy accident.
Yeah. Close. You want to get your spatula and smooth the top,
Yeah.
and then get your other pan. Very good. Okay, get your next pan. You gonna do it in that?
Sure. Shall we do this little one and see how it goes?
I'm not doing it with this.
Well, we already have it. Do this over here so you can, might be easier than reaching under there.
Okay, you should get
Probably
one
like
more.
a little bit, right more in there. Oof. Just kept coming.
You can get your other pan. And then just fully extract it, because we're out of peanut butter.
Okay.
Because I've squirted half of it. Do you want to grab one for you so you have your formula? Yep. So you have it up here and you can go by it. Okay. There you go. That one's opened already.
So we're going to, so it'd be 1.5 quart. So this one's about half right now, right?
Yeah, whatever's left. And there's the can opener. Does it say 2 pounds or pound and a half? Pound and a half.
Pound and a half of sugar.
So we're calling this one an Italian ice, and we had a sorbet earlier. Does anybody see or notice the difference between the two? It's not. It's not. It's the same thing. I make a really good orange Italian ice, and it's from simply orange juice and sugar. It's 2 ingredients. That's it. That's all you need. There's no bases. There's no syrups. If you have a orange grove, which is very popular in Florida, fresh squeezed oranges and some sugar. That's all you need. And I get high pulp, so customers can see the pulp, and then they go, "Oh, you really hand squeezed it." No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not. So I came up with this recipe by going to a bar and looking at the menu. That is how I come up with a lot of my boozy flavors, especially Italian ices. The first thing I do is I go to the bar, I sit there, grab the menu, especially being in Florida and so many tourist places, and I start reading those ingredients. And I'm like, oh, I can make that into an ice. And so I start Einstein up there, forming calculations on how I can make this into an Italian ice. Just need juices, you need sugar, and you need your alcohols to go in it. Only alcohol I don't recommend is vodka, because vodka is flavorless. It has no flavor. It does nothing. So you want to stick with alcohols that have flavor, liqueurs or anything coconut rums, spiced rums, dark rums, Jack and Coke. You can do an Italian ice with that. I've done that too. I've even made a Long Island iced tea. Definitely turn in your keys for that one. That was pretty potent. It was good, but potent. The more you look at these bar menus, you'll notice it's a lot of the same ingredients that you go to so many places. Same ingredients, just a different name is what they call it. So I came across this one and I forgot where I was, but it looks really good. I don't know what the grenadine is supposed to do for it, so I thought I'd buy it, sniff check it. Nothing. I see no purpose for this, but probably a color. Okay. Oh, he's measuring. Well, I don't do that. All right.
I'm an old school painter, so I usually measure all my stuff.
We get boozy up here.
Amaretto, half cup.
So with this method, you can definitely do it this way. It's your ice cream, it's your ices, so you can measure, you can dump and pour. I don't think Jeff ever really measured anything. He's always was a dump and pour kind of guy. If it was my ice cream store, I probably would do the same thing. My mother was a baker. She ran 300 bakeries, so her measuring everything is just something she naturally does. Me, she panics when she sees me in the kitchen because I don't do that at all. I can eyeball a cup of flour. I think so.
So when they say optional?
Optional. Well, I didn't know, so I wanted to see what it was like and taste it and smell it and see if we go from there. So since you pre-mixed it already, let's cheers. So you want to pour a little cup? Yeah. Okay, cheers. Great. That's good. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Some of us have to drive.
I wonder what happens if we, let's
add some more.
It's just sugar. It's just color, I think.
Yeah, no, like in when you get it at the bar, it's the splash on the top because it adds to the orange to make it like a sunrise.
Let's see.
What do you want to do?
Let's get a scoop. Yeah.
And it's just a little bit of it's like a floater.
Oh, that was too much.
Just to make the color.
I think it's still going to dissolve.
It's just gonna make that.
It changed the taste, but I don't want to add it. No, we got
that's
enough
gonna kill
alcohol.
it. Yeah, it's going to kill it.
Okay. We more rum?
Half a cup?
Do you guys need to taste it again?
I mean, you know.
Wait, we're gonna taste it first.
I guess I should have volunteered.
Yeah, snooze you lose. Lesson learned, right? Okay.
All right.
Okay. We're ready. So you're ready to get her in the machine? Oh, you're doing this. I feel like you know what you're doing.
I don't know. This is
Yeah, keep it closed. Very good. Yep. So start with a high pour.
yeah.
We'll use this one. I'm going to top it with a cherry. Huh? Maraschino? Your store, welcome to do it.
The whole thing?
We want more alcohol. No, we're going to top it.
We dip those in chocolate.
Bet that's good.
They're not quite as sweet.
Did you pour the blabber in there already?
Nope, this is just Italian ice. So we're not making anything with the dairy. So you're just going to touch the screen. Make ice cream. You're going to find Italian ice, so more recipes. Italian ice, and start. We already have everything in. We taste tested it, so you're ready to fire up.
Oh, really? That fast?
That's fat. That's it. You just made
Oh, look at this.
an amazing Italian ice. So we're going to let this freeze. You're still going to hang out with me. We're going to swap the trash pans here and put that one in the sink. Probably grab quarts too to bring back because we'll put it in that. Putting cherries into the machine. The cherry juice is very, very strong. Cherry juice is very, very strong. So I would just like limit it to that. Cherries do have a very hard time of breaking down in the machine. So keeping them or pureeing them, make sure you get the ones without the stems. This one has stems. And then they have cherries that's in bulk, like the tart cherries. It's in like a compote. I don't really like them that much, but I'm not a cherry fan. Maraschino cherries for me, that's kind of about it. And it's got to be on top of something, but not in it. But again, my choice. The quarts. Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, just 5, maybe 6. Let's grab 6 of those. If it was me and I had a liquor license and it was my store, I would serve this in a cup, in a very nice, tall, fancy souvenir cup, and I'd put a rum floater in it. That's what I would do, and I would upcharge that floater for probably $3 to $5. Being in Florida in a touristy spot, anybody in a touristy area? Yeah, awesome. So think about those options. I don't know what liquor licenses cost in your area. If you know it's something you can make a profit off of and it does good for you, definitely invest in that liquor license. Check with your laws to see if you can get away with putting it in the alcohol or putting the alcohol in the product without turning it into a shake and they're just eating it. Any questions about alcohol or Italian ices, sorbets? You guys feel pretty confident by the end of today? Yeah? No? Are you guys crashing now from so much sugar?
This is going to take care of that problem now.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. So maybe we can do I'll save this for Jeff. Jeff always randomly finds stuff. There we go. I'm going to drain these.
Now this one here is about a 17-minute process.
Probably. Maybe a little shorter. Oops.
We use fresh cherry.
Are we using a fresh cherry? You can use a fresh cherry. So he asked about using a fresh cherry. Fresh cherries are very bland. You could use it, but it's not going to give you that flavor that you're really looking for. So if you do want to use a fresh cherry, I would really recommend probably pulsing it a couple times in a Ninja, because it's not going to break down very well into the machine and it's not going to give you that cherry flavor. You're still going to have to pair it with something. Yeah, that too. They'll have the pits. It's very true. So you'll have to pit them all. Some people have even asked, do I strain my berries to get the seeds out? Because some people are seed sensitive. I don't. I really like to be inclusive and include everybody that I can, but I don't go that far. You know, dairy-free alternatives, I do suggest that for your store. Walk-up windows, I definitely recommend if you have the ability to do that. A lot of people just want to show up, grab a pint, grab a quart, grab a cup, and go. Some people, especially your touristy areas, if they've got swimsuits and stuff on, they don't want to go in. They're hot. They're nice and toasty. If they go in your freezing store, because I'm not, I'll send somebody else in to go in if I'm freezing and just have a towel around me. If you have the ability to walk up something, absolutely go for that. It's minimal effort. Cut a hole in the wall if you can. Show up, spend money, walk away. You have any questions?
No.
Not about this process?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's all clear. I guess at the end we have to. This is the count. The count.
That's
So
the count.
we're gonna wait about 17. Said 17.
Maybe not that far. We'll probably check around 12, 13, see where it goes. But yes, when you turn this switch on, it starts that timer there.
Already, my God.
When you shut this off, it stops the timer.
Okay.
Anybody doing a food truck? I know I heard some in the back. Food truck, and you're gonna do a commissary? Yes. Oh, that's right, the church. Yes. Very good. For those that do want to think about doing a food truck or a trailer down the road, the CB350 is very food truck friendly, trailer friendly. It's mountable. It can be put almost anywhere. 24 quart, definitely can, but you'll have to be water cooled. You'll suffocate if you try to do an air cooled. And wherever you do go, just make sure you have a good water supply and a drain where they'll let you drain it from. When you are doing your brick and mortar and you are building out, don't panic and stress where you're going to put the batch freezer. I always kind of say build your store around where you need to, and then put the machine where it can fit. Just make sure it has a good table like this size next to you, and the sink is close by. Other than that, you don't have to stress about where it's at. Windows are a big deal. We have lots of people that love to do that. So if you have the ability to make a window for your customers to see product being made, that's another big bonus for it too. Seeing how that's happening, watching, corn amaretto, Malibu rum, that's always a blast to see too, especially in touristy areas. So you can hear it kind of get more slushy. And you can check the consistency.
Yeah. A little thicker.
Yep, it's got a little more slushy consistency. Any topics that you guys want to talk about that I haven't touched on yet? No? Say that again? Events? Do we have events? You mean like Emery Thompson does?
No, like events at the like at a convention center or something like that, right?
Like, do we attend any of the events? Okay, so we only attend certain ones like NICRA or NIACA now. If you have not heard of that, it is literally an ice cream convention of nothing but ice cream. So everything that has to do with ice cream or frozen desserts and sweets, it's something great to attend. Next year, it's in Palm Springs, California. It's in a new city every year. This past year, it was in West Palm in November. Yeah. It's really good. It's very helpful. It's very informative for you. As far as like what else we attend, we just attend things for, convenience stores, and some reps will take our machines to like restaurants, the NRA, places like that. Yes. To make the homemade mix. I don't, unless you're a dairy farmer and you've got cattle and you want to start making your own dairy mix, definitely go to the Penn State course. If you're just a regular ice cream maker at home and you want to really get super depth in knowledge, then sure, go to that. But an ice cream maker, you yourself, just stick with buying it. As far as courses though, that's a good one. There is another one that I recommend in Missouri. His name is Steve Christensen. He is Scoop School. Scoopschool.com. He is an Australian. He calls himself the self-appointed ice cream bloke. very knowledgeable guy. He has a lineup of all different types of equipments. He goes over everything that I don't, like footprints, floor plans, permits, insurances, things to get you going if you need help with any of that. I think he has his a couple times throughout the year. Definitely worth going and visiting him. And he has other equipment too, like donut machines and waffle makers. And he has a mock ice cream store that's set up that goes through all of those things. It's a really nice guy. You have to tell him Christy sent you.
You got 8 minutes into it.
Yeah, we're about 8 minutes. We're still pretty slush. That got pretty thick pretty quick, so we might be able to pull it around 12. We'll let it go a little bit longer.
So this is like more of a treatment than plastic. This old plastic you do.
This is the only one that we do. Jeff does do a boot camp, or he's starting that back up. He does go over floor plans and blueprints and things like that. Being this was my first time by myself with you guys, I'm doing it much different. So if I was to do a hands-on, this would probably be it. If not more involved and no camera, I would be more hands-on, everybody come up, let's do this together. But you guys got a pretty good in-depth, because I personally go pretty deep and far into a lot of the topics. And after we do the factory tour, like I said, you're welcome to go ahead and go home if you need to. If not, Mickey's going to take the machines apart and somebody can volunteer and he'll walk you through just so you can see the cleaning process and how all of that works. Yes?
So like, paddles, spring, helping things with springs. Do you sell extra springs? Because those are a part that I can see losing.
Yes.
I've done something like that on a different machine and the company doesn't sell the piece. Luckily, I was able to find it at the hardware store. But
our parts you will not find at a hardware store, and we
that's what I'm asking.
definitely don't suggest that. All of our parts are food safe and NSF approved. So in a pinch, go to Home Depot and get an O-ring. I'm going to tell you no, because it's not going to fit, it's going to leak, and it's not NSF approved. We do have every single part you can imagine for our machines back to the 60s. So if anything happens, breaks, loses, we can overnight it, and you're welcome just to buy an extra set to have it. It happens more than you think. It happens. I've had to run in on a weekend, on a Saturday, and overnight some parts for a Monday delivery. It's happened. It's happened. So we're pretty, I can hear it pretty thick now.
Pretty
so
thick.
you want to do a, remember, it goes fast. Well, you got to be careful. You got to stay off to the side.
Oh, let me go up here.
There you go. It's going to shoot out at you.
Still a little bit more, I think.
I'd probably go a little bit longer than
Yeah, it's a little watery. Maybe like another minute and a half.
You're pro. See? He's got this. If you look at our machines from the 60s and the 50s, we really have not changed much. It pretty much is this door. The only thing that we've changed is just keeping up with technology. So we have touch screens now. We can, instead of belt driven, we're drive driven VFDs. So we'll talk about that process out there too. And some things we still do by hand, if not almost everything actually.
Still a little bit,
It peaked.
I think it needs maybe,
Close. Maybe close. I would pull it.
yeah?
Yeah, because it's peaking. So shut that off and then let's put them in the quartz. And these. Close, close, close.
Ooh, poured out more than what I wanted to.
There you go. Practice makes perfect.
Remember I told you I was a painter, so I've done this before.
Right, yeah, that's right. Okay. I'll do your scoops here. That's some good stuff, guys. What do you think?
What?
That's good stuff. So see that creamy texture? A little way to kind of, if you go to Italian ice places or your own shop or whatever, just take your spoon of whatever product you're eating, kind of just rub it, and then you can kind of see like the creamy texture that you're getting. That tells you kind of like the sugar content. So the smoother that it kind of smooths over, the creamier and the high sugar content it is. If you have one that's an Italian ice and it kind of like scoots over, it's crunchy, it's not high in sugar. So adding more sugar helps with the creaminess. So we add a lot of sugar. You like it, don't you? Well, this is it. I am going to wrap it up here, and thank you all for being on this, to me, milestone achievement of doing this by myself for the first time. You guys are a great audience. Thank you. I hope we all had a lot of fun, and we'll see you next time.